Good evening, everyone. Please, you may have your seat. Karibuni sana. I want to say a big thank you for everyone who's here today. Thank you for taking your time out to come and grace this occasion, our first ever gala for Machakos County. Allow me to ride on all protocols that have already been observed. Before I say anything, I want to ask you to close your eyes and for 1 second, just one, and picture a child's face the very first time they see a stadium. That's what happened on Sunday, right? Not on a screen, not in a photograph passed around in a classroom, in real life. Lights above them, thousands of voices around them, grass under their feet, that isn't just the dust beach they grew up playing on. Si players mnajua what we went through during the sub-counties. Sindio? So that is the image I have carried with me since yesterday. And it is the image I want to leave with you tonight. I know there has been talk. I know some of you expected me to stand here tonight and simply thank the stakeholders. Thank the players, and then go and sit down. But for 6 months, the Captain Irene Ndanu Soccer Summit and the Super Cup lived and breathed in Machakos. Every match, every training session, every small triumph, and every heartbreak happened on our soil, in front of our people. And there are those who feel, rightly, and I do not dismiss it, that the finals should have stayed at home. That Machakos built this tournament and Machakos deserved to host its crowning moment. I hear you, and I'm one of you, and that is not a defense. It's an explanation because you deserve one, and I owe you one. So I made the decision to bring these finals to Nairobi for one reason, and only one reason. And the reason is our children, our players. 7 out of every 10 young people who play in this tournament will live their entire lives in Machakos without ever seeing beyond it. Not because they lack talent, and not because they lack hunger. Simply because no one has ever opened the door and said, "This is yours." So I, Captain Irene Ndanu, I did that. I opened that door for you. So yesterday, as I watched children, rather players, who had never set foot outside our county, walk into the Nyayo National Stadium and stop, literally stop, in their tracks, I watched our young dancers in their red and blue, moving like they had rehearsed this moment their entire lives. Because in a way, they had. I watched boys who play barefoot on rocky pitches back home shake hands with referees in real jerseys and on a real turf. And I watched them smile, not the polite smile we give for a photograph. You all know that smile, right? The real one, that one that comes from right deep inside, somewhere deep, when a child realizes for the first time that the world is bigger than their county and bigger than the boundary they've always known. And that they belong in it. I will be honest with you, nothing about county budgets or logistics or protocol prepared me for what that felt like. It was worth more than words could ever explain. And I would be doing that moment a disservice if I did not pause here to think and thank the man who made it even bigger than I had planned. And that's our chief guest, our legend, Mr. Asamoah Gyan. Let's give him another round of applause, please. For our children, a legend is usually someone they hear about. A name on a screen, a highlight reel, a story an older cousin tells. Yesterday, that's on Sunday actually, that name walked into their stadium in the flesh and looked at them in the eye. And I watched children who have never left Machakos stand next to a man who has played on the biggest stages in the world football. And for a few hours, the distance between a boy from Machakos and a footballer the world knows simply disappeared. That is not a small thing, Mr. Samojan. That is the entire point of what we are trying to build. It did not have to say a word for a lesson to learn, but he did anyway. He spoke to our players, he shook their hands, he took photographs of the children who will keep those photographs for the rest of their lives. He gave them something money cannot buy. He gave them proof from a man who has lived it that where you start does not have to decide where you finish. Miskia players, where you start does not have to decide where you finish. On behalf of every parent, every coach, and every child who was there, Mr. Jan, asante sana. That means thank you. Thank you very much. You will never, ever fully know what your presence gave to our players on Sunday at Nyayo Stadium. But I promise you, they will remember it for a very, very long time after they've forgotten the score. I did not enter public life to play it safe. I need you all to know that. I entered it to show my people, the mothers in Kangundo, the fathers in Mwala, and the children in every corner of our county, that leadership from Machakos does not have to shrink to be accepted. It can walk into the biggest stadium in this country and stand tall. It can be done, and it can be done right, without losing who we are or where we come from. Because here is what I believe with everything in me. Every little girl and every boy from Machakos deserves the chance to dream, a size bigger than the village they were born in. Not instead of Machakos, because of it. We are not raising children to leave us behind. We are raising children who know that wherever they are, wherever they go, Machakos will always go with you. So wakati ule you'll make it and go to Europe, please remember, you hail from Machakos, and you must always make people know and remember where Machakos is. So our players. And to every young player, every dancer, every child who wore our clothes on Sunday, what you felt in that stadium is not a memory to keep in a drawer. It is a promise. This is not the end of something. It is the very beginning. And next year, we go further. And the year after that, we keep going further. Machakos is not asking for a seat at the table anymore. We are building our own table. Asanteni sana once again. Mungu awabariki na Mungu awabariki kaunti yetu ya Machakos.